Now, the Water and Sanitation Department will kick off their two-day Water Authority Summit this week. It'll go into, among other things, the country's water quality and challenges. Let's unpack what else we should expect. Bring in the Water and Sanitation DG, Dr. Phillips, who joins us now via our video link. And DG, it's great to have you on the program. Thanks very much indeed for speaking to Newzroom Afrika. This summit, I understand, is in response to the blue drop, no drop and green drop reports, where in part we found that the quality of drinking water in this country has declined dramatically in some regions. I wonder whether you can get us a sense of what the approach then becomes, given the mammoth task ahead.
The performance of drinking water systems in municipalities. The green drop report assesses the performance of wastewater treatment systems in municipalities, and the no drop report assesses the degree to which municipalities are using water efficiently and not losing water through losses. As you indicated, the report shows that there's been a deterioration in the performance across all of these areas over the last 10 years. And it also indicated that the quality of drinking water has deteriorated in some areas of the country in terms of whether or not it meets the microbiological and quality standards set by the South African Bureau of Standards. So we released the reports in December. We sent the reports to all the municipalities. What we're going to be doing is take all the municipalities through the results of the assessment in detail. These assessment reports are based on very thorough audits of a number of different aspects of the municipality's performance, including things like the condition of the infrastructure, whether the necessary tests are done on the drinking water and wastewater before it returns to the rivers, whether the municipalities have the right numbers of staff with the right qualifications. Right. So we're going to take them all through the results, and then we're going to look at together. We're going to look at those municipalities which perform very well, and there are some which are performing very well, which get excellent or good results.
Right. DG, apologies for interrupting you there. We're trying to hold out to see whether or not our audio quality to you will improve, and it doesn't seem to be getting any better. So if I could just ask you to be a bit patient with us as we try to redial you so we have a much clearer line, and in that way we can continue our conversation and make sure we don't lose anything. The Director General in the Water and Sanitation Department is Phillips. Hopefully we'll be able to get him back on a much clearer line in just a moment. We had already begun our discussion with the DG in the department, Dr. Phillips, who's with us once again, hopefully on a much better line, DG. Thanks for your patience. You were still explaining to us the context in which the summit will take place. Part of the questions I was hoping to ask you is to what extent will there be involvement from ordinary citizens in a gathering like this who, let's face it, form a major part of whatever the solution looks like moving forward?
This is an internal summit between the Department of Water and Sanitation and the Department of Cooperative Governance and the water services authorities. It's going to be looking in detail at the results for the green drop, blue drop and no drop results for all the municipalities. It's going to focus on informing the municipalities in detail of how they scored in terms of the various criteria used in the drop assessment, including issues such as the condition of their infrastructure, whether or not they're doing the required testing on the water, whether they've got the required staff with the necessary qualifications. And it's going to be looking at these issues together with them to identify what are the causes of good performance and what are the causes of poor performance. There are some municipalities which are performing very well in terms of their drinking water quality, drinking water systems performance, and their wastewater systems performance. And we're going to look at what are the things that those municipalities are doing that the poorer performing municipalities can learn from. And then we're also going to agree for the different groups of municipalities
For example, for the municipalities which are performing excellently and well,
Sure.
what do they need to do to retain that performance? And then we're going to work together with the municipalities which are performing poorly to agree on what those municipalities need to do to improve their performance.
Yeah.
After the summit, once we've done all of that work, we will then also be having engagements with broader civil society about the issues.
Got you. To what extent, DG, can this also be an accountability mechanism? I mean, it sounds like there's going to be a lot of the diagnosing of the problem, and that certainly has its place. But at some stage, people, of course, need to be held responsible for not doing what they should be doing, especially when, for instance, their job descriptions and the law are very clear on what their objectives are.
Accountability works in a number of different ways, Ayanda. Firstly and primarily, as you know, local government is a separate sphere of government, and in terms of our constitution, they have an original constitutional obligation to ensure that water and wastewater services are provided in their areas. And as you know, we have municipal elections where the residents of the area vote for their leaders in the municipality. So that's a very important part of accountability, and that the residents in an area need to hold their politically elected representatives who are managing and governing their municipalities to account for their performance. But secondly, we as the national department are the regulator of the sector, and we also have a duty in terms of the constitution and in terms of law to hold municipalities to account when they don't perform according to national norms and standards. And in particular, for example, when they pollute the environment through not treating the wastewater properly before they return it to the rivers. And in that regard, we do engage with the municipality. We issue them with instructions to address the issues. And if those instructions aren't acted upon, we do go as far even as taking criminal action or laying criminal charges against municipalities for doing things such as polluting the environment.
Has any action been taken by the national government so far, insofar as that is concerned?
Yes, we currently have criminal cases lodged against approximately 13 municipalities. And there have been reports in the media. Some of those cases have reached fruition, and some of the municipalities have been found guilty and have been ordered by the court to repair the work and fined by the courts, and being instructed that money that they've been fined must be used to engage in repair work on their wastewater treatment infrastructure.
Right. You know, I'm also trying to consider how much you can actually fit in 2 days, DG, considering just the myriad of issues I imagine that you have to get through. For one, as you were speaking, we were playing some visuals of some water tankers there, and what springs to mind are other reports suggesting that there are very deep connected water tanker syndicates that are operating in many parts of the country, where essentially the long and the short of it is allegations that there are people who are deliberately sabotaging the infrastructure so that they could provide these water tankers and essentially make a quick buck. To what extent are those kind of discussions within your purview over these 2 days?
We're also aware of those reports. If we do get any evidence of it, and we would appeal to anybody who does have evidence of those kind of syndicates operating, give us the evidence, and we will immediately refer it to the police and to the Hawks for investigation. It's completely criminal and unethical and unacceptable for people to abuse ordinary citizens' rights to water to make money in that kind of way through sabotaging infrastructure to get contracts for water tankers. Yeah. This particular summit, is focusing very specifically, and that's why it's only 1.5 days, on the results of the blue and green drop and no drop reports, and getting the water services authorities to study the results together with us in detail, to analyze the causes of good and bad performance, and to agree on improvements. So it's got a very specific agenda, and we think we can achieve that within 1.5 days with the water services authorities.
And we certainly hope you do, especially when you consider what's at stake. Dr. Sean Phillips, thanks very much indeed for speaking to us. Appreciate your time on the AM Report. Dr. Phillips is the Director General in the Water and Sanitation Department.